I'd like to invite you to join me on some artifact hunts here along the coast of Massachusetts. I hadn't been on the beach 10 minutes when I walked up on this nice little white quartz squibnocket triangle point. Perfect little point. What a great way to start the day. See if you can spot this next one. Yeah, there it is. A nice little Levana triangle point. It's made out of a Saugus jasper material. I was really glad to find it. I don't have many artifacts made of that particular lithic. Be a great addition to my collection. Sometimes all you see is the tiniest little glimmer of color or material or the shape buried in the sand and the mud. It's such a rush when you pluck a perfect little artifact that's been buried. They can't all be perfect arrowheads. So many of them were broken during use. This is the base of a nice Poplar Island point. It's made out of a maroon felsite material. It's a pretty common material in the southeastern Massachusetts area. This little tiny quartzite Madison point, I found it in a really rocky area. The waves had been shuffling it around. It was quite tumbled. This particular hunt was on one of the Cape's islands. A nice white quartz squibnocket stemmed point, pretty typical for the type. They make up the bulk of every New England artifact hunter's collection. You can see from the low-angle sun, this was really early morning, about an hour after dawn. I found this nice side-notched point. I believe it's a Brewerton point. With all the clamshells on Massachusetts beaches, sometimes it's hard to find the white quartz artifacts, but this little squibnocket stemmed point popped right out at me. This point here, I believe, is an Orient fishtail point. One of the basal corners is knocked off, but tip is still nice and sharp. I'm unsure of the material. I haven't seen this before. While I was putting these clips together, I was kind of struck by the amount of white quartz that I've found over the last 18 months. All of these clips are from an 18-month period. And yet another white quartz triangle. I was surprised that the tip and the corners were still quite intact, still nice and sharp, since this area was really rocky. I was hoping for a second artifact, but it just turned out to be a piece of natural quartz. This morning I had been searching for about 4.5 hours, and I hadn't found anything, not even a single chip or a flake. And then I came upon this in the mud. It's a really nice quartz snappet point. The snappets are quite old triangles. They go back as far as about 7,000 years before present. This one is intact. The corners are there. The tip is here. Really beautiful point. They can hide, but I'm still going to find them. This Levana point, it had the tip and the corners really rounded off. It had been tumbled around in the surf for so long. Here's an overview of a particular beach in Massachusetts. Talk about searching for the needle in 100 haystacks. Artifacts can be found anywhere along here. Well, thanks for looking. We'll see you next time.